سادتي وقادتي في دين في الدنيا والآخرة بهم أتولى ومن أعدائهم أتبرى. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before I like to begin, I'd like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the organizers for organizing another Salatul Jummah, and I'm honored again to be invited to speak for Salatul Jummah. Sallallahu Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Inshallah, on this short khutbah, the English part of the khutbah, which is very mustahab, I like to focus on characteristics. On characteristics. When we look at characteristics, it's very important for a person to carry very good character within themselves. Sometimes our characteristics do not match our actions. So what we have to do, or what we have to remember, is that when people treat us bad, or when people treat us unfairly with no proper akhlaq, we have to remember one thing, that we are representing how our parents raised us. We are representing the religion of Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Just as if we're looking for a spouse, we do not only look for beauty, but the key thing that we should look to in a spouse or in a friend or a significant other is the characteristics. We should not look for money, because money needs protection. But the akhlaq and the knowledge of the person, this is what protects the person. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam,
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad,
has said the following in regarding choosing your friends. They say, keep your friends closer and your enemies closer, right? But Amir al-Mu'mineen has a wonderful saying when it comes to your friends and how to choose your friends. And this is the saying that we should take to heart, either with our acquaintance, choosing our significant other, or our friends in general. Amir al-Mu'mineen says the following. He says, show me your friends and I will tell you who you are. Show me your friends and I will tell you who you are. Why do we think Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam has said this? Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. It is because that sometimes our friends will influence us in doing the type of things that they do, and the reason why we do it, either we like it or not, we will get peer pressure. A lot of my friends are doing it, so let me do it to fit in. Let me do it so that they can call me next time they hang out. Let me do it to look cool, right? Teenagers, young adults, and kids and children are not the only ones suffering peer pressure. Parents, adults are also going through peer pressure. How? Meaning, for example, competing with the Johnsons, right? Competing with your neighbor. I have a better car. I have a better house. Sometimes we see our neighbor, right, renovating their house. So what are we going to do the month later or 2 months later? We're also going to renovate our house. And then on top of that, we're going to invite people to show them the renovations that we did in our house. But wait, we need to renovate one thing. Every single one of us, including myself. We all need to renovate one thing that we ignore. And this is our character. Because if we do renovations of our character daily, nothing can stop us and nothing can harm us. Sallallahu Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said the following in Surah At-Tawbah, verse 71. He says, the believing men and believing women are awliya. Awliya means helpers or supporters of one another. They enjoin on the people, meaning they do nahi anil munkar, amr bil ma'ruf. So they do amr bil ma'ruf and forbid from al munkar, nahi anil munkar. They perform as-salat in iqamat, and they give zakats and obey Allah and His Messenger. Allah will have His mercy on them. Surely Allah is almighty and wise and all-wise. So here we see that if we want to choose a significant other, or if we want to choose an acquaintance or a friend, the best friend, if you want to know who your best friend is the one that tells you that you're doing wrong. Why? It's because they want you to be together in heaven with them. Or you want them to be together in heaven when you're with them. Because we know there's life after death. So we want to be with our close ones. We want to be with our families. Nowadays, what do we see? We see some guy's child or some person's child outside doing something haram. Instead of inviting that child, sitting down with that child, and showing them good character, what do? What we do is we call them. I saw your son here. I saw your son with these individuals. Yes, I understand. We're trying to warn them. We're trying to warn the parents. But at the same time, have we tried to sit down with the child? Maybe that child is trying to influence their friends in doing good. Maybe that child is trying to get whoever their friends are to come to the masjid and to start praying. Or maybe their friends pray and they're trying to influence that child to pray. So we should never judge a book by its cover. There's a story of two individuals. One individual, they're both coming home at 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning. One person's walking to the masjid and the other person is walking from a nightclub. He's walking home from a nightclub. So they cross paths. The person walking from the nightclub coming home, he sees this person also walking at night or in the middle of the night. What does he say? He's like, I'm not the only one that goes to nightclubs. See, he's a Muslim and he's coming from a nightclub. This is his assumption. And the person walking towards the masjid, he's like, oh, subhanAllah, mashallah, I'm not the only one going to the masjid, going to pray. So you see here, just because we come from that situation doesn't mean other people come from the same situation or are coming from the same place. So when we judge others, we have to judge ourselves even harshly. This is how we improve our character. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
What was he known for? He was known to be al-Amin, as-Sadiq al-Amin. He was known to be truthful. He was known to be trustworthy. How? Through his character. Before he was told to announce Islam, even his enemies knew him to have the best of characters, the best of morals and the best of akhlaq. So when someone wants to work on their character, I should work on my character first, then I should work on the characters of my family members, then I should work on the characters of the outside of my household. Sallallahu Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Now, even when we look and we compare between Rasulullah and Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, what do we see? We see a follower and we see a leader. In order to be a leader, sometimes we fall into this mistake. In order to be a leader, right, some of us, forgive me for saying this, but some of us become slave drivers. What do I mean by that? When we have the power of authority, either at work or whatever, we tend to look down on those normal co-workers of ours. We were on the same level. But because I got promoted, listen, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Now the work environment is not healthy. The same thing that I was complaining about this person, I have become that person that they're complaining about. So here, in order to be a good leader, we have to know how to follow. And the best example of that is Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. How so? Because while Rasulullah was alive, who was Imam Ali? Rasulullah was the Prophet and the Nabi of Imam Ali alayhi salam. And after the Prophet's demise, what happened? Amir al-Mu'mineen became a leader and a follower. He was first the follower of the religion of Allah and the religion of Rasulullah. And he was the leader amongst the people. But yet you see when you read his biographies and history that he used to sit with the poor people and he used to eat food. To the point that he used to lock his food. Barley, he used to have hard bread and he used to lock it. Someone was like, Amir al-Mu'mineen, I know you're not stingy. Why are you locking your food away? He's like, I'm scared, I'm afraid that my sons and my daughters will have mercy on me and put a little bit oil to soften the bread. Look at the food that he ate. He never ate the food of the king. He ate the food of the poor people. Sallallahu Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Now, how do we become good characters? How do we have good characters? Amir al-Mu'mineen has said in Najib al-Agha the following. I'll read and then inshallah we'll conclude. He says, he teaches us how to have good morals as believers. So he says the following. O creatures of Allah, the most beloved of Allah is whom Allah has given power to act against his passions, so that his inner side is submerged in grief and the outer side is covered with fear. The lamp of guidance is burning in his heart. He has provided entertainment for the day that is to befall him. He regards what is distant to be near himself and takes the hard to be light. He looks at the previous and he remembers Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and enhances his temple in his actions. He drinks sweet water to whose source his way has been made easy. So he drinks to satisfaction and takes the level of path. He has put off the clothes of desires and got rid of the worries, except one that worries peculiar to him. He is safe from misguidance and the company of people who will follow their passion. He has become the key to the doors of guidance and the lock for the doors of destruction. And then he continues on. And he advises us how to do this. So I advise myself and I advise others tonight or today or whenever, at least once in our lifetime, to pick up Najib Balagha and to work on this khutbah, the sermon 87. On to work on ourselves. I need to work on myself before I tell anyone to work on themselves. So I need to work on myself. So I also advise everyone else to work on themselves. Why? Because when we work on ourselves, we'll be so focused on ourselves and fixing our characters that even other people will see us and will see our characters and will want to mirror our actions. Just like how we want to mirror the actions of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Wal asr, innal insana lafi khusr. إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.